Hey YouTube, it's MIgardener, and what you see behind me is actually the to-be site for my miniature orchard. Now I'm actually going to bring you guys along for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to show you the how-tos for making a miniature home orchard. And basically what I've done is I've selected miniature trees because, as you can see here, we only have about 8 feet to the wall, and that's all I was given, so that's all I have to work with. So I actually will aggressively prune the trees, keep them small. But also another thing going for me is that my trees are naturally somewhat dwarf. They only have a span of 10 feet at full growth. So that's after 18 years you'll have a tree span of 10 feet. So it's all going to be good. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to get started here. First of all, what you want to do is you want to get a spot that has lots of sun and well-drained fertile soil. So if it's heavy clay soil, you're going to want to dig that soil out and actually fill it with like a peat humus or some sort of potting organic mixture so the roots can grow. Now, another thing you want is to make sure that you have at least 6 to 7 hours of sunlight. Fruit trees need a lot of sun to grow because they are very, very vigorous growers, and they're going to grow several feet in a year if you give them the right conditions, so they need all that light they can get. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just dig my holes here. I'll show you kind of the process for prepping the holes. The fruit trees that I have are a bare root, and you can get ones in a pot where they actually come in a pot of dirt. You can get those at most nurseries, but they will cost about 50% more than you would if, or double the price if you would just get a bare root, excuse me. So the bare roots are generally the way to go if you're going to save money. And on top of that, I actually got them online for a really, really good price. So with all that said, it was easily the most economical and sensible way to get this mini orchard going. So I also chose varieties that are self-pollinating because some varieties require two different trees to cross-pollinate. Apples, pears, stuff like that, they will produce better if you have 2 varieties. So the apple varieties and the pear varieties, I do have 2 of them, but I do have some other varieties such as peaches, nectarines, and an Asian pear. Those don't require a cross, so therefore I only got 1 of them. So I got 7 trees, and I spent about $120 shipping. A lot of people are going to ask for the link for the company, but actually they are closed. They stop shipping. They close their company down because the fact that they deal with bare root stocks. They don't ship after April, so they're closed for the entire year. So therefore, it won't do any good to give you a place to order from. However, next year when I do an update, I will make sure to do an update with the link so you guys can all purchase them. I'll make a note to do that as well. So let's get started with this, and I'll get back with you guys. So what I've done here is I've just taken the hole and I've made it about 2 times as deep and about 2 to 1.5 times as wide. Depending on which way it's twisted, obviously. But it's going to allow it to spread out quite a bit, and it's going to allow it to get a healthy root system to support a lot of fruit. So basically, what I've done here is I prepared a bag of just transplanting mix. It's got no fertilizer in it. It's just a loose mixture of peat humus and some organic compost, and it's just a really light mix. I'm just gonna put some of that in the hole so that it can have a nice start. I'm gonna get the tree planted up, and I'll show you the next step. So now what you want to do is, now that you have all of the soil backfilled and the holes filled in, you want to take all the extra soil and kind of make a small mound here. Then what you want to do is just gently press. Not really hard, but you want to make sure that the soil has no large air pockets. Now, I also slightly pressed as I was filling soil in because you don't want large air pockets, because that will actually air prune the roots. They'll actually not grow where that air pocket is. So you want to make sure that there's no air pockets. And you kind of just press down and make a mound here, and then just ever so slightly make a small indentation. because that indentation is going to allow water to settle there, and it's going to allow water to go right down to where the roots are. And not a big indentation, but you know, about a couple inches around the base of the root, or the base of the trunk there. And also another thing is when you're backfilling, there's going to be a mud line on the tree. You never want to fill dirt past that mud line because it will actually choke off the tree. It's called the crown, and you don't want to plant past the crown. Much like lettuce or asparagus, you don't want to plant past the crown because otherwise it won't. It will get crown rot, and it'll actually rot the inside of the tree and kill it upwards. So you don't want to do that. All right, so I think we're done. All we need to do is water it in pretty good, and it should be done. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to be doing more episodes on this, such as when we take out all of the sod and replace it with a nice heavy mulch. We're going to be doing that, and as well as other tips on pruning, fertilizing, and all that stuff. It's going to be a really great series, and I think it's very, very important that everyone puts in a home orchard if they can, because there's nothing better than fresh homegrown vegetables and fruits, because everybody knows that the best stuff comes right out of your home garden. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you guys remember to grow big or go home. This is MIgardener. Talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye.